dedicated to Eastern and Southern Kentucky. This is WYMT Mountain News Weekend Edition.
Good evening, or should I say good morning. I'm Steve Hensley.
And I'm Olivia Calfee. We now know the winner of Super Bowl 58. The Kansas City Chiefs have taken down the San Francisco 49ers. The big game brought a big crowd to the Mint Gaming Hall in Williamsburg. A
very long game, too. And for the first time, Kentuckians could legally place their bets on the outcome of the Super Bowl. WYMT's Jack Demler has more on the impact the game has had on sports betting.
It's widely considered the biggest sports betting event of the year. I spoke to people at the Mint Gaming Hall in Williamsburg to talk about the impact the big game has on business. As community members poured into the Mint Gaming Hall to watch the big game, some took the opportunity to put some money on the line.
Kentucky is finally able to join Tennessee and Indiana and Ohio, other states that are able to do this. So I feel like we're finally going to get a piece of the pie here, and it's been great and an economic positive for our community and the state.
It's great to have it here now. It's cool to see how different people come and bet on sports and all watch the game they bet on together.
5 months after sports betting became legal in the Commonwealth, people got the chance to take part in the biggest sports betting event of the year.
It's great because as a kid, I would always think, oh, I think they're going to win. I think, hey, they're going to win. So it's cool to now I can put my money where my mouth is. You know what I mean? Like, pretty cool.
An opportunity that has proven to benefit business.
We have actually steadily been very, very busy and increasing. You know, sports betting is just an asset that we have here.
And gets fans even more engaged in the game.
Well, the odds are really close. So then I see the matchups, me personally. So I go about receivers against a certain corner or offensive line against a certain defensive line. So I think on paper, 49ers are better. Personally, I think the 49ers are better.
And while a Chiefs comeback victory in Super Bowl 58 may have cost Waters money, he says he has always enjoyed being able to sports bet in the Commonwealth. In Williamsburg, Jack Demler, WYMT Mountain News.
All right, the one guy probably went home a little bit disappointed tonight. The Mint Gaming Hall also had DraftKings partners on site with them, along with food and drink specials to celebrate Super Bowl 58.
The Mint Gaming Hall was not the only place where bettors gathered for today's game. Folks also placed their wagers at Derby City Gaming, the Red Mile, and more. And like Jack mentioned, today's game was the first Super Bowl folks in Kentucky could legally bet on. But some experts say that the Super Bowl excitement could mean it was a difficult day for folks struggling with gambling addictions.
Now, according to the Kentucky Council on Problem Gambling, disordered gambling is when a person continues to bet in spite of those recurring consequences.
Experts say if you are struggling after yesterday's game, there are resources available. You can call or text the state's gambling hotline at 1-800-GAMBLER. And betting was not the only first for Kentucky. Here in Hazard, folks created new traditions by visiting a local restaurant and bar. The Goal Line in Hazard originally opened back in November, making this year the first time people were able to watch. Owner Jeff Norman says it is a way to create new traditions for the Super Bowl.
Well, we've got several people that are doing that, and that's what they've talked about. They always done it at home, but now that they got a place like this with the TVs that they can come to, that's where they made their plans this weekend. They just keep coming in and keep filling up.
Norman says there were several ways they worked to prepare for the game by ordering more food, alcohol, and rearranging seating inside. And we all know watching your favorite sports team lose can break your heart, but doctors say it could actually be bad for your heart health.
Samantha Valentino spoke with a cardiologist about how big sporting events such as the Super Bowl could put you and your heart at risk.
The American Heart Association says strong emotions during a big game could be linked to adverse cardiovascular events, including increased blood pressure and heart rate.
There are definitely certain things that happen around big sporting events that probably put people at higher risk.
Dr. Vedant Gupta is a cardiologist with UK Healthcare. He says the stress from watching your favorite team perform poorly in a game like the Super Bowl could put you at higher risk, especially if you're already at risk for heart disease.
You are at risk, have known heart disease or have serious risk factors for heart disease. Probably try to be a little bit mindful of consumption, both of alcohol and what you're eating.
Dr. Gupta also recommends being active before the big game by working out or even just going for a walk.
Make sure that if you're taking medications for your heart, that you take those both before or after, as well as to seek care if you do have symptoms.
He says high-stress events like the Super Bowl are a good reminder for people to learn CPR. So if someone at your party goes into cardiac arrest, you're prepared to help them until first responders arrive on scene.
Having some basic CPR training, if someone is not responsive, can save someone's life.
In Lexington, Samantha Valentino, WKYT.
Kentucky is ranked 47th for overall heart health.
Well, the big story as we close out your weekend, we are tracking some cool weather, also some foggy weather. Let's take a live look from Perry County at Buffalo Mountain. And yes, this camera is working, but it's very foggy at Buffalo Mountain. That current temperature is sitting at 46 degrees over in Perry County, down to 0 miles in Pikeville, a quarter of a mile over in Floyd County, also for Wise over in Southwest Virginia. So if you have to be on the road by late tonight, also early Monday, you may run into a few patches of that dense fog. Up on First Alert Pinpoint Doppler, we are dry and more mainly dry weather on the way as we go into this evening. Those current temperatures not too bad. Most of us in the middle to upper 40s and a few lower 50s as well, up to 52 in Harlan, 46 in Jackson, 48 over in Somerset, also in London at this hour. As we go into tonight, watching out for possibly a stray shower, especially over those far southern counties. But again, most of us are dry. Low temperatures in the middle to lower 40s. Higher rain chances on the way by Monday. Possibly some snowflakes by this time tomorrow night. Those details coming up in just a few minutes. Steve?
All right, Cameron, thank you. Police have identified a motorcyclist who died after a collision with an SUV in Wayne County, West Virginia. David Fitzpatrick died at the scene, according to Wayne County Sheriff Rick Thompson. Thompson told WYMT's sister station WSAZ the crash occurred around 5:30 p.m. on Saturday near the Belange Branch area. Thompson and Fitzpatrick said Fitzpatrick was the driver of the motorcycle. A passenger on the cycle was also taken to the hospital. After losing his vision in one eye and breaking his femur, a 14-year-old Bell County teenager has found his footing in a unique sport.
WYMT's RJ Johnson explains.
At 10 years old, Preston Rose lost his vision in his left eye after a boating accident.
When it first happened, I didn't think I'd be able to do any sports because I thought I was going to be blind for the rest of my life.
After the accident, he tried traditional sports such as basketball and football until one day he found a sport that he loved, motocross racing.
We haven't really rode at any tracks. We just rode up some trails, some rocky hills and stuff, and I thought it was so fun and cool and stuff.
So he started taking it more seriously, participating in competitions throughout the country.
When you're out there on the track, I mean, there's probably so many things that's going through your mind, like, am I going to get a good start? Am I going to go down or get hurt? Or if I'm going to get good place, bad place, it really depends. But once you're out there on the track, you feel like you're so alive, especially when you're beating people.
Despite not having vision in his left eye, Rose was determined to be the best he could be. He went on to win several awards and championships until he crashed at a race, breaking his leg.
When I first broke my femur, I didn't really know what was wrong. I couldn't tell if it was broke or if it wasn't broke. So I tried to get back up, and then I could immediately tell something was wrong. And immediately after the surgery, we started, right off the bat, doing physical therapy so we can get back onto the bike.
With months of physical therapy, he made his return back to the track. His first race back was at the same track where he crashed just months before.
I was kind of nervous because just coming back at the same track where it all happened, kind of nervous because I didn't know what was really going to happen or nothing. But once I got out there and I started having fun and stuff, that whole deal just erased from my mind.
Rose says he has learned a lot in just 4 years of racing.
you're gonna get knocked down. You're gonna get injured. You're gonna get told you can't do this, you can't do that, and you're gonna be beat. There's gonna be people that's so much better than you. The real important thing is to get back up and keep doing it.
Through his faith and support from loved ones, Rose will continue to get back up and race past the finish line. In Bell County, RJ Johnson, WYMT Mountain News.
Rose says motocross has helped him just the way any other sport has, through discipline, sacrifices, and more. He says he has achieved a lot by believing in himself. And coming up, many folks were counting down the days to Super Bowl 58, but now the countdown is on for Eclipse 2024. We take a look at what you can expect during the big event.
Plus, the forecast turns a little wintry by tomorrow night. Those details after this break.